Hey guys, welcome to Pixel Street Videos, where today I am joined by Holden DePardo, and we are gonna talk about that Super Mario Brothers movie that is coming out. So this is being recorded a day after the September 2021 Direct, where Shigeru Miyamoto, our Lord and Savior, showed his lovely face, and he gave us the release date for the theatrical release, I should say. It is coming holiday 2022. The only set date is in the USA, December 21st. Europe and Japan will come out within a week of that, either before or after. But it's exciting to finally get a release date. And we also got a look at the main cast in, I almost said the game, main cast in the movie. So we are going to take a chance to go down the list of cast, kind of talk about who they chose, what we think about that, and then we're going to get into where we think this movie is going to go. Because I think just the characters shown here, that really makes me think there's some hints to where they're going to go with this story. All right. So, yeah. Holden, you ready?
I'm ready. I'm actually pulling up pictures of the cast members right now so that
All right.
I can refresh my memory.
Perfect. All right. So, let's start with everyone's favorite Italian plumber, our main character, Mario. Or I should say Mario Jumpman Mario. He's being played by Chris Pratt. You will know him from Guardians of the Galaxy, of course, Avengers Endgame and Infinity War as well, Jurassic World, and then where I love to see him, Parks and Rec. Yeah, let's just start with this. Chris Pratt as Mario. What did you think about that announcement?
I was really shocked when I
Oh
saw
my god.
Chris Pratt at first. I don't dislike Chris Pratt at
No,
all.
I actually
I
really like Chris Pratt. I know
I do
some people
too.
don't,
Yeah,
but I really do.
I've never had a problem with Chris Pratt, but I just never ever would have crossed my mind that he
No.
should play Mario. And I think also too, just I think the shock of it too is I had this thought that maybe Mario wouldn't talk a lot, and there would kind of be almost like a Shaun the Sheep kind of visual storytelling.
That's what
It's
they
they're
do
not
in their
really
games. Like,
yeah
while Charles Martinet has been, we'll get to him in a little bit, while he's been the voice of Mario for decades, his voice work there is always the wahoo, the jumping around
mhm.
and the contextual stuff. Yeah, there's a couple games where he speaks full sentences, but Nintendo, that's always been a weird thing for me, especially in like Mario Superstar Baseball in the GameCube. When you're going through the adventure mode, everyone talks and they just have speech bubbles. They don't actually have like voice lines recorded into the game. But Mario and Luigi both are just silent the entire time. Like they have the other characters speak for them, even in just voice bubbles. So like Nintendo doesn't like having them talk. I don't know. It's
Yeah,
so weird to me.
it's very weird. And also I know Chris Pratt said in an Instagram video that he's going to have a voice and they're working on a voice,
Yes,
which is
I'm.
reassuring.
That's very reassuring. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't feel like it would have worked at all if it was literally just honestly any actor's normal voice. I just don't think that would have worked at all. So that's really refreshing to hear. I have to have faith.
Hmm.
It's an odd choice, but you know what? Heath Ledger, it was a really odd choice for the Joker, and then that turned out to be one of the best performances
Yeah.
ever.
Michael Keaton as
So
Batman. Yeah. No, I'm. After sitting on it, at my first reaction, I was so angry. And we'll get into this more as we go down the list here. There was a lot of like just gut punches here where my first reaction is why? Oh my god, why? After sitting on it and thinking about it, I'm a little more optimistic than I was last night when we recorded our reaction to the direct. Check that out on Pixel Street Videos. Chris Pratt, though, he's the one that I keep coming back to. Like I said, I really like him as an actor. I think he's very funny, and I think I really liked his voice acting in Onward, or was it Onward?
yeah, he was an onward.
Yeah,
It was him and
Tom Holland.
Tom Holland, that's right.
Yeah. No, I think he can do a great job. It's just that voice. Just thinking of the Chris Pratt voice just normally makes it's just hard to fit that in with Mario. So we just have to wait and see what that voice is going to sound like. It's going to be interesting. All right, moving on. Princess Peach is being played by Anya Taylor-Joy. This is someone I didn't know anything about when they first announced it. I did a little looking up, and she has been in The Queen's Gambit. What's that?
She's been in a lot. She's really talented.
Yeah, The Queen's Gambit, The Witch, The New Mutants, Morgan. Yeah.
Bread is a really good movie that she's in.
Gotcha. Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen anything with her in it, but so I have nothing to go off of with this one. I am just kind of whatever on that one. I mean, she looks like she could play the part in a live action movie, but thankfully we're not doing that. So yeah, not hearing her voice, I have nothing to go off of with this.
She is a very soft voice. I actually think her voice on its own is kind of perfect for Peach. I think this is definitely one of the better picks, for sure, because she can kind of play this, kind of soft, innocent kind of approach, which, Peach is not a necessarily aggressive person, but she can get aggressive in like spurts sometimes in some of the games.
It's very very minimal. Like when I think of
minimal, yeah.
Super Mario Odyssey at the end, where Mario and Bowser are fighting over her, and she's just like, "No!" and then turns around.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Anya could play that well,
Mm-hmm.
and kind of use both of those kind of modes for Peach pretty well. So I think that actually is one of the better, not the best one on here. I have a specific one I think is the best.
I do
but,
as well.
This one I think is a good one for sure.
Yeah. Next up, Luigi, Mario's younger brother, is being played by Charlie Day. You'll know him most likely from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. He's also been in a few other things, but I don't think anything that really stands out.
Horrible Bosses is great.
Oh, Horrible that is right. I had forgotten about that one. Here, I'm a big fan of Charlie Day. I'm not the biggest fan of this casting. I like it because Charlie Day has that very high-pitched male voice that could be perfect for like a scared Luigi.
Yep.
Outside of that, I don't know. It's really going to depend on how they write Luigi. Yeah, it's going to depend on how big of a impact he has on the movie, really, I think. Him being listed after Princess Peach tells me that he's not going to be along with Mario the entire time.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good point. I think this is a good pick. I like Charlie Day. I think he can kind of do that nervous, panicky Luigi. I think he can do that pretty well. I really hope we start to see Conspiracy Charlie meme, but with Luigi instead.
Oh, I've already seen it. It's
Have you seen it? Okay. That's awesome.
In our memes and shitpost channel on Discord. Check out the description of the show to join in on that. They like minutes after the direct, I saw a post. It's just the Charlie Day meme, but with a Luigi hat on, and it was Luigi trying to tell the others that the mansion is haunted. So great. Moving on. My favorite casting in this game. God, I keep saying game. My favorite casting in this movie, Bowser is being played by Jack Black. Now, yeah. I think a lot of people saw this and thought, oh, Jack Black, he's going to be just his goofy self as Bowser. No, I think this is going to be Jack Black doing a low, growly voice. I think it's going to be perfect. I really cannot wait to hear him as Bowser. I think he could steal the show with a good Bowser impersonation. It's going to be so much better than Mario Sunshine Bowser. That's where I'm getting off with this. I love this pick. How about you?
Better than Nintendo's own version of Bowser's voice acting.
Yeah.
I agree. This is, I think, the best of the casting, because you kind of know exactly what this is going to look like, but in a good way. Where like it's going to be a goofy. because I think there's a possibility that he's not the main villain, because that has happened in Mario stories before.
We'll get to that in a
If
bit.
he is the main, yeah. If he is the main villain, he'll be this kind of like goofy, kind of bumbling villain, which I think is kind of fun.
Mm-hmm.
And if he's part of the group, I think that could be a fun dynamic with him kind of being a little like edgy with Mario because they've been at odds, but now they kind of have to get together, but there's like tension there. Like I just feel like in any kind of way they implement this, I think Jack Black could nail it.
Yeah,
I'm just totally excited.
I'm 100% there with you. Next up, probably my least favorite casting. Toad is being played by Keegan-Michael Key. Now, I'm not saying this is my least favorite casting because Keegan-Michael Key is bad or anything. I love him. I think you could give him so many other casting choices in this movie. Toad is just such a boring character, and Keegan-Michael Key has so much personality to him. I want him to bring that out. I don't see Shigeru Miyamoto letting him do that, though, in this movie. Because we have to remember, we're talking about Shigeru Miyamoto having a very significant impact on the story here. The man who hates stories. He hates them in video games. He works so hard to take them out of games. Super Mario Galaxy, they had to fight so hard just to get that Rosalina storybook thing in, which was such a side thing. Like, he does not like stories. For whatever reason, he only likes the adventure. I really, yeah, I hope I'm proven wrong and he has like some great bits, but I just don't see Toad having fun. How about you?
So I'm the opposite in this case. I think this was an awesome choice because you're right. Like Toad can be kind of bland. There are points where he can kind of be like, "Oh yeah," like or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But he doesn't have a lot of personality to him necessarily. But kind of seeing Keegan-Michael Key is going to be playing him, it's like actually I do think they're going to let him do his thing with Toad to an extent, of course. I don't think he'll do full-on sketches like he does in Key and Peele. But I think the reason is they're already going to have full-on voice casting for this movie, which is already very unlike Shigeru Miyamoto to begin with. So I kind of feel like if you're bringing in Key, you're bringing in Key for a reason.
Yeah. I just had a thought. What if Toad... Well, what if he plays just all of the Toads and they end up like the Minions?
God. That would actually be incredible.
Yeah, I hadn't thought about that. I was thinking just one Toad, but no, he could play every Toad because every Toad besides Toadette has the same voice.
What if Toadette? Do Toadette too.
Dude, him just trying to do a higher pitched voice, that would be amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm suddenly in on this now. Just the idea of Toads playing the role of like Minions and everything.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing.
Okay. Next up, one of the more interesting choices, Donkey Kong is in this movie, and he's being played by Seth Rogen. You know him from that Weed movie. And other stuff.
That one.
That one. Let's see, what's he been in? Neighbors, which is that's probably my favorite movie with him in it. Green Hornet. He's been in quite a few stuff. This one was interesting because, again, has Donkey Kong ever spoken in a video game? I can't think of any time he's had a voice other than that old cartoon series.
I don't know. Yeah, that's a good question. I have no idea.
Yeah, it's just so baffling to me for them to willingly give Donkey Kong a voice. And it was also just a surprise to me that he's in this, which I guess shouldn't be that surprising. Yeah, very interesting choice there. It's just with Seth Rogen, I always think of what's the movie with James Franco that he's in? Not the
like Pineapple Express.
Pineapple Express is the one I'm thinking of. Yeah, that one. That's like the main thing I think of when I think of him, just like a stoner movie, and it's just like, just that connection with Nintendo. He could be fine with it. Again, I think that's going to depend on how they write Donkey Kong into here.
So this is my least favorite casting.
Okay.
And the reason is that his voice is so distinct. You can't. He would think he was in Sausage Party.
Mm-hmm.
And when his character talked, I think Steve's coming. I do. I don't. when his character talks in that movie, it's like, oh, Seth Rogen, that's Seth Rogen. That's
Yeah.
not his character, that's Seth Rogen. And no offense to Seth Rogen, a lot of comedians do this. It's not a problem. I just don't think it works in this context. Is a lot of these comedians, including Seth Rogen, they just kind of play themselves on screen.
Yeah, this is kind of the
their own
thing I think we're all worried about with Mario, is Chris Pratt just being Chris Pratt as Mario.
Yeah.
While those concerns might be taken away, I just don't see Seth Rogen changing his voice.
I don't either.
Yeah.
I saw a GIF of Donkey Kong laughing, but they used Seth Rogen's laugh, and it made I cringed so hard. It was just awful. It was not. I mean, obviously, it was not made for the movie.
Yeah.
It was someone online, putting things together themselves. But I don't know. It just turned me off to the whole idea.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. His voice acting, okay, you got Sausage Movie, and then The Lion King, he was Pumbaa. And even there, I was like, oh, that's just Seth Rogen.
I never saw that. I had no idea. Oh, God.
Yeah, he was Pumbaa. He did fine. I mean, that's a great casting for him. Donkey Kong, though, I'm not sure. All right. Next up, they talked about Charles Martinet, who has been the voice of Mario since the 90s. He also took over the voice of Luigi, and he is as well the voice of Wario and Waluigi. They did not say what role he will play in here, but they said cameos. So that sounds to me like he's going to play a lot of characters in the background. Maybe they like go past a TV that's playing a Mario game and you hear his voice. Like maybe Mario's a star or something. Like he's I don't know.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe like Chris Pratt will do the acting for Mario, but if there's ever like Mamma Mia or Wahoo or something like that,
yeah,
bring him in for that part.
That
Because it's too iconic.
That would be perfect. I just really hope this voice that Chris Pratt is working up towards, I really hope it doesn't feel disjointed. Like it's like, oh, that's very obviously two different people.
Yeah.
I don't. We'll see. Let us know in the comments what you think about that, because I have opinions. And then finishing off, we have three ones that were rattled off quickly. We have Kamik. He's the Magic Koopa, Bowser's side guy, being played by Kevin Michael Richardson. You have probably heard his voice before. I don't have it pulled up right now, but I looked up, and he was the voice of Gantu in Lilo and Stitch. He also played Goro in the old Mortal Kombat movie, apparently.
I didn't know that.
And then he was the voice of the Joker in the animated series The Batman, not the Batman animated series. Which is so crazy. I remember watching that and being like, I know that voice. Who is that? And now I know that it's him. Kamik having a really deep voice like that kind of is throwing me off, but whatever. Do you have any problem with that? I don't.
I don't really know much about him, so I don't really have an
opinion. Like I said, I looked through his IMDb. He has had he's a voice actor, which is a conversation I don't really want to get into because I definitely have a problem with this game just being only Hollywood A-listers and no like video game voice actors. But that's a discussion for another day. Next up, Cranky Kong is being played by Fred Armisen. I really only know him from Saturday Night Live, but I'm sure he's been in other stuff. Fine. I'm just kind of surprised that Cranky Kong is here, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, Donkey Kong, I get, but Cranky Kong? But that will get into my story prediction. And then our last casting, Spike being played by Sebastian Maniscalco. That guy I actually have to look up because I don't know anything about him.
He's a stand-up comedian.
Is he? Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. Known for Green Book, Tag, The Irishman, The House. Doesn't look like he's been in too much, but yeah, okay, so stand-up comedian. Okay.
He is, he's kind of like, he's a good stand-up comedian. That's like his full-time job. You know, he lives off of it. But he's definitely someone who is like more known amongst like aficionados of stand-up. The
Oh,
only
okay.
people I know who know of him are actually stand-up comics.
All right, gotcha.
But
Yeah.
he's very good. He's very talented.
If you don't know, Spike is really a deep callback. He is Mario and Luigi's boss from the game Wrecking Crew on the NES.
Oh, okay. That
Yes,
makes. I was thinking, is Spike the character that throws the spike balls at you? Like I was thinking, like
that
it was
is
that.
that is a Spike. Um, yeah, yeah. Uh,
That's not confusing at all.
no, it's not. This is such a weird, deep callback, and I kind of love it, honestly.
Hmm.
Really cool. So yeah, that is our cast. There are some weird first reactions there. I'm for giving them a try now. My instant reaction in our reaction video yesterday was pretty strong, but I'm a little more optimistic than I was yesterday. How do you feel about the cast as a whole?
I wasn't outraged necessarily when I first saw it, but I definitely was off put.
It felt like
And
a joke, right?
yeah, yeah. And I also just kind of don't really want them to make this movie to begin with. So this is kind of like initially was like, oh boy, here's another reason I don't want this movie to be made. But I'm kind of like, all right, it's happening. These are good actors that they have. It's not like they're getting like complete random nobodies in
Uh-huh.
here with zero credits. Like these are people who are funny and talented. Let's see what happens. Is kind of where I'm at now.
Okay, yeah. All right. So Miyamoto did say it's going to be a while before we see anything on the movie, a trailer or something. My random guess would be like spring, maybe summer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Movie trailers are coming out now closer to the release date of the movie.
Mm-hmm. Which I like because
Hmm.
if a trailer comes out too early, I completely forget about it. Okay, so let's end this discussion off with where we think the story is going to go. Because there has been no talk about a story outline whatsoever. All we know is that Illumination has brought on Miyamoto to advise on it, and he's got a say in it. So we are getting a dedicated Mario storyline, at least. We're not going old Mario movie where people that didn't know video games existed were making the story. So yeah, let's. If you have nothing, I think I have a
I
pretty
have
good
nothing.
idea
I
of
have
where we're
no
starting.
idea.
Okay, so the very inclusion of Spike tells me that is going to be kind of Mario and Luigi's origin story. The fact that they just kind of threw him in there on the offside tells me he's going to be a character that's only there in the beginning, and he's not going to be in the rest of the movie. So I think we're going to start this movie off with Mario and Luigi working on a construction site. Okay?
They're not
Because,
plumbers.
no, hold on there. They are going to be, yeah, they're going to be working, and then there's going to be a disruption, and you're going to see a giant ape climbing, what are they called? Girdles, rafters, whatever,
Yeah, rafters.
with a woman in his arms, a brunette named Pauline, who was not mentioned in this casting, but I think we're starting off with the original Donkey Kong story here, where Donkey Kong steals a woman and Mario's like jumping up to save her. I think the events of that are going to end up getting both Mario and Luigi fired. And from there, it
I like
really
that.
goes weird because how do you fit in, like, is this story going to take place in the Mushroom Kingdom or is it in the real world and then they go to the Mushroom Kingdom, kind of like the
Yeah,
old
it's gonna be like New
animated show?
Donk City. It starts there,
I
and
think it's
then.
going to be New Donk City, but it will be called something different.
Hmm.
So yeah, I think it will start there. Mario will save Pauline. The fact that they didn't say Pauline is going to be in this tells me that that's going to be her only inclusion, and I don't think she's going to
She
be.
dies at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah, she dies. It's a very it's a tragic origin story. Mario isn't quick enough. Donkey Kong drops her, and we have the no. She falls to her death. No, I think she will. He will save her. She won't be mayor of the city yet. She won't be have any relation to Mario. She won't be his girlfriend, is what I'm saying. Because I think Nintendo want to stay away from that. Yeah, but Spike will end up firing Mario and Luigi. And I think that's where that ends. From there, I think Donkey Kong will go home. He'll have a chat with Cranky Kong. I gotta figure Diddy Kong's gotta be in here, right? Because...
Yeah, why Cranky Kong first, not Diddy Kong?
Yeah, there's gotta be a voice for Diddy Kong. They might not have said it because, one, it's gonna be a small role, and two, it's gonna be a very unknown person. My guess is that they wanted to keep like the Hollywood guys for this for these announcements.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Actually, I was gonna say maybe they haven't cast him yet, but of course they've cast him already.
It
must be.
They had to have already started recording.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think Diddy Kong will be in there. I'll be surprised if the other Kongs show up. Maybe they'll be like kind of a side thing, kind of a surprise. But if anything, it's Dixie Kong. They won't put in the rest of the DK crew, which is kind of disappointing. But Nintendo, anything connected with Rare, it took them so long to include Diddy Kong and Dixie Kong. I just don't see them going the extra mile and bringing in the other guys. Maybe Funky Kong, but even then, that's a stretch. If anything, those will be cameos, nothing else.
No, they need to include Funky Kong, and then just in the corner of the Blu-ray box set, just have like easy mode with Funky Kong, like in the corner.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like did with Tropical Freeze.
Yeah, just swap out Donkey Kong for Funky Kong. All right, so we've got them going their separate ways. Mario and Luigi become plumbers. Donkey Kong goes home, regroups with Cranky Kong, whatever. Then Bowser kidnaps Princess Peach. Mario, just going on his normal day, whatever, gets involved. He's like, oh, let's go. I can do this. I'll go save the princess. Goes off. Adventure ensues. At some point, though, I think Mario and Donkey Kong will butt heads. But they're not going to keep Donkey Kong as like an antagonist. Because Nintendo really likes Donkey Kong. They're going to want to make him a protagonist. And then I think they team up together, take on Bowser, save Peach. But only Mario and Bowser are in that final like boss area. Something along the way will stop Donkey Kong from being there. Maybe he'll like
Donkey Kong will have to fight, Kamik or something like that instead.
Yeah. Yeah, something like that. Maybe King K. Rool shows up. I don't know. That one's a stretch. I don't think that will happen. Yeah, that's pretty much all I got. It's just, yeah, Princess Peach, when she gets captured, you'll have Keegan-Michael Key with all the toads around. Princess, no! Ah! Yeah. I mean, that's really all I got for a story. I mean...
I like the beginning part with like them working on the construction site, getting fire. I think that all would be awesome. Mm-hmm. I can already see the headlines like he thought he was a plumber, but actually he's a construction worker. Mm-hmm. This is where he started, and like you'll kind of see that kind of start to come out too, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
I can already see it. Yeah, I think you're pretty much spot on though. Like, what could they really do with the Mario story other than Bowser kidnaps Peach?
Yeah, they haven't gone away from that in the game, so how can we expect them to do it in the movie?
Yeah, and like earlier I was talking about how it would be cool if they did like a Bowser was with them and he wasn't the villain, kind of like how they do with the RPG Mario games. But now that I'm thinking about it a little bit more, the first movie they have to have Bowser be the villain. That way, if they do a sequel, then they can have someone else be the villain, and now Bowser and Mario have to like settle their differences to like. That makes the second movie more interesting. Mm-hmm. So they have to start Bowser being the villain.
This is just why the inclusion of Donkey Kong throws me off so much, because I'm thinking like a Mario versus Bowser story, but the Donkey Kong throws a wrench in that. And especially with Cranky Kong being in there. This isn't... I can't just say that Donkey Kong is just going to be at that beginning point like Spike and then get knocked off and we're done. Woohoo. They're not going to go with the original story in the Donkey Kong arcade where Mario owns Donkey Kong and he's abusive to him and that's why he steals Pauline. That's just not going to happen. It's just going to be like a random ape steals a woman, climbs up the stuff. Because in that Donkey Kong game, Mario is a carpenter. He's not a plumber yet there either. This is before he even started like jumping all over the place with his careers. Yeah, I have the beginning set in my mind. After that, though, it's just Bowser kidnaps Peach. Donkey Kong has to come in there at some point, so I think there's gonna be another like head-to-head thing. But I got nothing after that.
Here's what I think they need. This isn't a plot point. I mean, it is a plot point, but it's the scene I think would be really funny. Is if Mario thinks he found out where Peach is, he goes through the castle and like it's trying. It's a difficult experience. He barely makes it. He gets to the top and he opens up the door and there's just Key in there as Toad being like, Mario, what are you doing in here? Peach isn't here. She's in a different.
Oh my god. It's so gonna be a line in there. It has to be, right?
It has to be. But I wonder how many times, because I think that actually could be a really funny ongoing joke, is like, they always think they're going to the place where Peach is, and she's never actually there, but it's always Key there as Toad being like, dude, Mario, again, like, she's not
That
here.
is perfect.
Like, what are you doing?
That is absolutely perfect. You are 100% on that.
It needs to happen 3 times.
All right.
At least 3 times.
Last thing I want to throw out there. I don't think this will happen. But just to cover the Wario and Waluigi demographic, do we think Charles Martinet will play either character?
Wario or Waluigi?
Yeah. Well, okay, how about not just that? How about will they be in this movie? I don't think so.
What if?
Okay.
Post-credit scenes teases Wario.
And is it Martinet playing Wario?
It's Martinet playing Wario.
Okay.
And that's kind of like the Thanos moment. At the end of Avengers.
You had me until you said Thanos. Not gonna lie. Yeah, that could happen. I don't think they'll be included at all. I don't think there will be an a credit scene, but who knows? Maybe. Yeah. Yeah, I think that'll do it for our discussion on here. Yeah, about a half hour. I'm happy with that. Holden, thanks so much for joining me to talk about the Super Mario Brothers movie. Do we want to take a guess real quick? Or is there going to be like any like subtitle to this, or is it just the Super Mario Brothers movie?
Good question. Will they go with the theme of the games and be like Super Mario, like Adventure or something like that, like Super Mario something like Odyssey or Sunshine?
Yeah, Super Mario. I got nothing. The best I could come up with is like maybe Super Mario Adventure. Do they want to go?
We don't know what the movie is.
Yeah, so it's so hard to say. Yeah. All right. Yeah, that'll do it for us here. If you liked the video, please like, comment down below. Let us know what you think of the cast. Also, give us some predictions on what you think will happen in the story. I think I gave a decent outline for what we know with Mario. Subscribe to see any of our future videos, and we will catch you on the next one. Holden, give me a "It's a me, Mario," and we'll end this.
It's a me, Mario.
It's me, Mario. Thanks so much, guys. Bye.
Bye.